Hello and welcome to Bobo Bun. Today I'm having a catch up because I haven't been on here for a couple of weeks with life and work and blah blah blah. So I've kind of got out of my sync. So there's lots of news and makery that I want to fill you in on. So it's a catch up with the Dressmakers Ball and what I made and wore, the knitting and stitching show, what I bought of course, and my plans and ideas, what I did. And yes, so Mrs. Harris goes to Paris and with knitting, and so it's a general, I was going to say miasmic blob, but I don't think it's a miasmic blob. But anyway, it's a mishmash of all sorts of things that I hope will tickle your fancy. It seems an absolute lifetime ago that it was the Dressmakers Ball in Leicester. First one I've ever been to, but obviously with COVID they haven't run for a few years. So yeah, I wanted to go and see what one of these kind of social gatherings was about. So made my frock, of which I shared the trials and tribulations with you. And I had uploaded various how-to sewing videos on some of the techniques I used, but my phone storage, because I film all this on my phone, I had to bin it. I was having problems with storage and all sorts, so I'm afraid I don't have that. More sewing tips and sew along type of things promised in the future when I get myself back into a rhythm again. But yeah, back to the dress. I'll pop up some pictures for you, show you the dress. I really wasn't happy with it. It did not compute with the picture I had in my head. It just, yeah, I had so many, I think the Wednesday of that week, I had to take the whole thing apart and put it back together again. On the Friday evening, and then you think I was working on the Saturday, and then we were driving up to Leicester. Friday evening, it was still going horribly wrong, so I threw it in the corner in a tantrum, and I didn't really care if the cat weed on it at that point. So many in my sewing classes have said that that has actually really perked and cheered them up, that news. Because they always think that people like me that have been sewing for so long, we just get it all right, it's plain sailing, and it's really good to say to people, no it's not. At times it's just really, you wonder why the hell do you enjoy doing this and why do you do it to yourself. Obviously overall we know why we enjoy it and why we do it, but sometimes there are moments. So yeah, I think that kind of took some of the love of my dress away. I was running out of time and I was tired, so I literally just hemmed the bottom and free cut the tulle away, and I cut it a little bit shorter than I wanted. I wanted it to hang past the hem and it was above. You know, it's just these details that bug me. And I think I overfitted it, so you get just pull lines across the back and the front of the dress. It could just be my body, you know, my middle-aged woman body that causes pull lines on it, because if it was any looser, I don't know, it just looked too saggy. I did, when we got to Leicester, I screamed in the car, not screamed as in like I was frightened, I just mean I shouted loudly, oh my god, I've forgotten my big pants. So we found a Marks and Spencer's, and I asked the lady to direct me to the suck 'em in underwear section, so that helped a bit, having my big suck 'em in pants underneath my dress. Getting ready for the do. I saw some people in the bar of the hotel we were staying in, so I popped down to see them and say hello. Then made myself late getting ready, so I was doing everything in a hurry, and I was going to go the full on, you know, proper eyeshadow, false lashes. I'd listened to my oldest daughter's tutorial on getting false lashes on, because if I want them I normally just go into MAC and ask them to put them on for me. And this one went really well, and this one I got the glue everywhere, and then I stuck my eyelid to the top of my eye, and I got glue all around there, and I got glue all over my lovely painted nails, of which they are not lovely painted nails today. Yeah, so glue my eyeball wasn't a good start. Anyway, went to the ball. That was great. There was just fabulous seeing all the amazing makes, you know, even if they're not, you know, to my personal taste, as my dress wouldn't have been to others. It's just amazing seeing all these creations that people have been making, and you know, and the happiness and just the general evening. Spoke to some lovely people, had some very interesting vintage chats with one lovely lady who is a swing dance teacher and a vintage hair and makeup artist, now designing her own range of 1930s clothes, so she was very interesting to talk to. So all in all, a lovely weekend. And then we bailed out of going to brunch the next day because we were just so knackered, because the whole night we barely slept. I don't know if it was someone falling out of bed or they were velcroing themselves to the ceiling, because it sounded like it was a really big drop, and then you'd get that bang on the floor above us just all through the night. And it wasn't Sex Games, because there was a long time between these bangs, you know, like hours. So yeah, it was someone falling off something. So not much sleep, so we left, we came home. But that was the Dressmakers Ball. So yeah, I enjoyed it, and just bit of like carnage with the glue on the eye and the sleep, and oh, it's just bizarre, but there we go. And then yeah, I've had lots of lovely days out in between, and then we had the knitting and stitching show the following Sunday. Super excited about that. Sarah at Olive Road London very kindly sent me a ticket so that I could meet up with her. You know, Sarah and I chat a bit on Instagram, and she sells the most wonderful vintage fabrics, but she was teaching a workshop this year, so she was able to look around, so we met up there again. So before I met with her, I quickly went to Andre, and I'll show you this. Andre, you'll find her on the Tinternet as Till the Sun Goes Down, and then she has Now and Then Patterns, and I really wanted to meet Andre. I'd seen her years ago at the Festival of Fabric, which no longer runs, and I didn't talk to her. That was many years ago, and I'd seen some fabrics I loved. I didn't buy them, so but we've communicated over years, and she's kindly sent me a pattern before, and I've won a pattern in a prize, you know, so I know I really like her, and I have bought some patterns. So yeah, I really wanted to see her properly and chat to her, and I knew she'd have baskets of vintage fabric, of which she said were just unfilling rapidly day by day. I mean, you know, I've seen some of the photos, things that people scored. It's just the most amazing vintage fabrics. There was a 1930s crepe de chine, which was just silk crepe de chine. It was just, you know, when you feel you possibly would sell your own children for it, you know, at the stage when they were having tantrums and they were irritating. It was that beautiful, but it was like really mega expensive. Worth the money. I'm not saying it wasn't worth the money, but you know, it was not in my budget at all. And I think I'd have been too frightened to cut into it, that money. Yeah. So that was just something I enjoyed looking at. I mean, I had a lovely chat with Andre, and her latest pattern is this one. It's called the Viola dress, which is a really delightful 1930s dress. And you can do a necktie, cuff ties, a belt around there, so in contrast. She was wearing one, so I'll pop a picture up. It was a vintage Liberty fabric that she'd used. So kind of her to give me this pattern, and obviously I will be making that up. I just want to move towards trying out some different styles. You know, I always love the 30s. I just don't think I've got necessarily the figure for it, and sadly not the hair. I would love to have proper hair that I could brush out into a short 30s or 50s style, but I don't. So you work with what you've got, don't you? It doesn't mean I don't like the clothes. So the fabric I chose from Andre, this one, I'm trying to remember, it's called Dahlia, and it's a viscose, and it's just like liquid. It's just absolutely beautiful, the colours, and it's just soft to the touch. Her fabrics are exceptional quality, honestly, exceptional quality. I can't remember, I think this one was about £18 a metre. This is one I've had in my sights for a long time. I just wanted to feel it before I bought it. And I also saw a dress made up in this in the TV programme, I think it was BBC, maybe ITV, called the Singapore Grip, which I really enjoyed for the visuals, but many people have said it's just really atrocious drama. I'm going to reserve my comment on that, but eye candy wise, you know, if you're a sewer, then it's really good. I think they used quite a few of her fabrics in that, but this one really stood out in a dress. So Viola and this, that's what that's going to become. But I'm going to wait till I've got on top of everything I'm doing, because I just got so behind my sewing, and I kept cutting things out and starting new things. And there are a couple of projects I've got to sew for other people, and I've been gifted the fabric. So I'm going to wait, because I really want to take my time and really concentrate and enjoy making that. The other fabric I got from her, this one's called Midnight Garden, and it's a silk viscose. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, yeah, it's as you would expect it to be. It is divine. This was the one I saw about 6 years ago. It's been niggling away at my head because this one's like £25 a metre. But I went to the knitting stitching show to spend money. I've been working hard, so I was going to spend money, and this is what I spent my money on. So absolutely exquisite. And then I did raid the vintage fabric baskets, and I got some good basics. I got this mint green, it's a 1950s seersucker with tiny sort of like grey white flowers on, so that will become a blouse eventually. It's got a few little stains on, but I can work around those, you know. Andre had noticed there were stains. Then there's this vintage wool, which I'm not decided. I'm just going to make a skirt, or I might have enough to make a pinafore dress. I just thought that'd be really warm and cosy during the winter. You know, it's flecked with bits of white. And then this one, I was thrilled. I said enough for making a skirt, but I think this is going to make. Oh, I just noticed it. I hadn't seen this. It's got tiny flecks of pink, green, and blue in here. So I literally hadn't noticed those at all. That makes me love it even more. I mean, this is grey and black, and I can see this as a waistcoat. You know, I've got some vintage patterns to make a waistcoat. Wanted to make one last year, never got round to it. I think this is just going to be fabulous, especially when I show you what I'm wearing on my bottom half, which is something I'd finished, my black wearing history trousers from the home front overalls. I will also finish this, another Agnes t-shirt. So then we have this fabulous jersey. It's very, very different to my usual sort of taste, but I do like sort of the kitsch, sort of retro things. It's a French terry from Sew Me Something, and absolutely love this with the cherries, just to make myself a really good throw on top, because I do love in these in between seasons, or if I'm tired or I'm sorry, I just want to put my jeans and a comfy top on. Don't feel comfortable just going out like that. That's my silly. I like to be just more put together, but I still want my comfy and cozies. I'm not going to move into the joggers and sweatpants. I just can't. But this will be something really lovely. But oh, I just love that smell of fabric conditioner. It's not for everyone, but I do love it. My other purchases I got from Beyond Measure. I'm trying to think, because I've got some leopard print bias binding, jersey bias binding, and just reach over here. Got this fabulous little pin cushion ring, which is so handy, you know, when I'm fitting at Foxy Lady. And on the Fabric Godmother store I spied some, and I'd got some credit with them as a Fabric Godmother ambassador. So Naomi, they're very, very kindly noted what I wanted, and she got it sent out the next day, so that was so, so kind of her to do that. Absolutely adored this. This is a viscose, very, very drapey. So this came early this week. This beautiful, these autumnal colours, I absolutely adore them. Absolutely know what I want to make with this. So watch this space and you will see. But oh god, these colours. I'm just trying to get a few more autumnally frocks going on. Yeah, I always seem to sort of be a bit odd through this season, and obviously they'll work all year round. And then on Fabric Godmother I also saw this fabulous dead stock jersey. It's silver, you know, with a bit of sparkle in it. I can't remember if it's two-way or four-way stretch. It's more two-way with a little bit of a four-way, but not very much. But I think I might just make another Agnes, because I think it'd be a really nice dressy one, you know, going out. I mean, heaven forbid, might get asked somewhere for drinks over Christmas. Something might be going on, you never know, do you? You know, it's weird thinking life might actually commence again, but I thought that'd be a really nice fun little top. Do know I've got some things coming up in Christmas, so yeah, that might be nice to wear. The other thing I got there, because I did get some labels from Victoria at Little Rosy Cheeks, so it was lovely chatting with Victoria again, but I can't show you those because one's to go in a secret gift and the other one was given as a gift for this person, so shh, not showing you those. I think I've nearly got everything. And then I was so thrilled because I don't know if you've ever seen the Agatha Christie's more recent Partners in Crime, with Jessica Rain from Call the Midwife and David Williams. So I'll bung a picture up because it translates to I'm wearing, I just adore Tuppence's clothes in there. I'd quite like to be called Tuppence myself as well because it makes me feel happy, the sound of that kind of name. But there we go, I'm not Tuppence, but I can pretend to be anything I want to be. But I really loved the coat, the whole look, the lace blouse, the yellow cardigan, the black cigarette trousers, of which I will be making some. The yellow beret, got some wool, I'm going to knit one, and I'm going to try out making a proper beret as well. But the starting point, I found this wool at the Knitting Stitching show, this tartan, this check, it's grey and yeah, it's not very dark grey actually, it's only black as such, but I thought it's a really good match. But I've decided to make, you can see the arms just pinned in, I've made a start on it, but I've got to cut the lining out and everything. So this is the Gertie swing jacket. I just know I really love this jacket, so that's going to be there to create my Tuppence look, but it will go with lots of other things. And then I've got these beautiful Edwardian buttons, because I'm going to do 3 buttons on mine, like I have on a previous one. How many have I made now? I've made 4 already of these jackets. They all get worn, so I'm going to use these beautiful Edwardian buttons. If I put my hand there, does that make any difference? I see people do it, I'm not sure why. I'm not savvy enough with this stuff, am I? So they're my purchase from there. Right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to put on some knitwear and tell you about the... Oh no, before I do, sorry, I'm jumping ahead myself. I've got 2 other things to show you, haven't I, about my sewing. So on my mannequin here, I got gifted the fabric from Just Fabrics. I've just got to hem the dress. So I've used the Rockabilly bodice. I used the NH patterns because I wanted more of 30 sleeve. They really stand up puffy when they're on. And I put black rickrack round the pockets. And this is the Butterick 6055 skirt with black ribbons here. So that's all done. She just needs hemming. So she's having a hang about in the corner, minding her own business, and then I can hem her. So that's her. And then Oyen at Lush Cloth, she wanted bloggers for, you know, wanted to put it on YouTube, whatever, for each month through this year. So I applied, and I am October's calendar girl, but we've been running a bit late because we were waiting for her new fabric delivery. So I chose from that, and she said she knew I'd pick this one. And then my youngest daughter Millie saw this fabric and she came home one weekend and said, "Oh, I love it, can you make?" And I said, "No, it's got to be made for me." So I think I might have to buy some for her. Not that she probably wants to have a matchy dress to her mum. Anyway, so I'm using this fabric, which is absolutely fabulous. I will find out what it's called. I can't remember in case you're interested. It's a beautiful cotton. And again, this is a mishmash. So it's my self-drafted bodice from the Vampire's Wife dress I made with the French darts. I've used the Liberty Bella tea dress sleeves. And I've got to bias bind the neck on this. And then I've got the Experimental Space skirt, which is an A-line skirt with you can see here with slash pockets in. So that's that. My only problem was that I totally forgot. I cut the skirt out separate to the bodice. Totally forgot, because it's a dual neck bodice, it needs to zip up the back to get into it, because my head can't go to get into a hole. So I should have cut the back skirt with seam allowance for the back zip, but I didn't, because it's you know, 2 central panels, front and back, and then the side skirts. Cut it on the fold, so I couldn't put a zip all the way down. So I've got to put the side zip in, which is what I prefer. So I've opted, rather than doing a keyhole at the back, I'm going to put a lap zip in. So it's got a little pink lap zip, so it will just come down, you know, so far, so I can get my head in. So this is going to be a dress for 2 zips, basically. Which reminds me of a story my friend Kat told me about a costume friend of hers who had to make a costume with 3 zips around the crotch, and to this day nobody's been able to work out what the 3rd zip was for. But there we go. If you can work that one out, then by all means tell me, but I'm sure my life will be fine without knowing. What else have I got to say? So that's that. Right, off I go, and then I'm going to get my knitting news for you, and then that will be me done. That'll be me all caught up. Right, here we are again for the knitting news, and I also forgot to tell you about Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, which we saw last week, my friend Kat and I. And no spoilers, but it is just really feel good, bit of fantasy, bit of escapism. Yeah, I don't know if it's so heavy on, say, the Dior clothes. You don't see so much, you see bits, but it's just delightful, the whole period, details, everything. So if you can go and see it, I suggest you do, because you will just love it. Right, onto the knitting. I actually finished this last night, minus the buttons. This is the Poison Girls soundtrack cardigan. I'm just actually wearing it now. I mean, the sleeves are meant to be short on this, but I don't know, they're feeling a bit annoying for me. I might have to add more in. And obviously, because I'm tall, I've got longer arms, so I always have to go a bit further than the pattern. So I was knitting this, I think it was when I went to the Dressmakers Ball. I thought I'll be able to wear that this weekend. And my wool ran out about here on the arm. And it's taken me 2 weeks to order some more wool, because I needed to decide some more for some other projects, for presents, surprise presents for people. So I finally got the wool. That came yesterday. So last night I stayed up till 1 after I'd finished teaching, so I could finish my cardigan. Because you've got that far, you just want to know what it's like on, and I'm really, really thrilled with it, and the colour and everything. So I've just got to sort out buttons, because I haven't got any buttons in my stash this colour. Or you can knit and cover buttons, so I might do that. I've never knitted buttons, so that might be quite fun to have them on here on the moth stitch button bands. So we shall see. But at the moment it's without buttons. I don't mind until I definitely want to knit it, close it up. And I always knit the smallest size on knitting patterns, because it fits my high bust measurement, even though my boobs are like more than medium size. But I just like to have them so they've got a really good fit and it's not too big up here, and I like them to fit snugly around my body, so that's the size I knit them on. I was just looking at the fabric on my table. Doesn't this green go fabulously with this? Can you see that poking out there? So that goes really well with it, and the green does as well. So yeah, already matches in. It matches in with some other things on the way to and from the knitting stitching show. I started working, because I couldn't obviously be working on my green jumper, so I started knitting. This is the black ribbing, and it's still got to go on. I mean, this is just, and the whole jumper I'm planning to do really is pretty much rib, which is kind of a tedious stitch, but the effect is amazing. I want to do this jumper. I'll try and find a good full frontal picture. It's called the Clara Bow Panel Jumper. I don't know if you can see that there. So this is in Knit Vintage in this book, one that I got in the charity shop ages ago. So absolutely love the details. If I do another close up so you can see how those bows are done. So you reverse the stitch to get the bows and that. So really nice simple black jumper, of which I really do feel the need to have a black jumper and a black cardigan. So they'll be on my next plans as well. And I also started, because I wanted to do a pink cardigan. I have told you before here about wanting to do a pink cardigan, and I just couldn't find the right kind of pink shade. And at the knitting stitching show, I managed to get I think it was 10 balls of wool for like £25. They were half price. This is all caught up in my knitting bag with loads of needles stuck in it. But I managed to get this pink. I'm not sure if it is the right pink, but it's rather nice. And that again goes beautifully with this and with this, and obviously it'll go with lots of other things that I have. But yeah, the colour matches in nicely. So I've got that far, and it's to make this. It's from a twin set, same book. It's to make this little cardigan. I like how the V comes down low and then the 3 buttons. But the pattern says do the cable as for the jumper, but the pattern just does not translate, so I'm having to work out how to like rewrite that to make that make sense. So but I've got enough projects on the go. And then when I got my green wool to finish this yesterday, like I said, I've got some secret wools in there, but I've got a couple of balls of each of these to knit the Tara Dayton beret. So this one will go with my coat to be my tuppence beret. I'm going to knit that in this lovely mustard. So these are drops Merino Extra Fine. I think the black is drops. It's all many drops that I use. And yeah, this one, I can't remember what the colours is. It just has numbers on here. They've got lovely names on the you know, thing, but they don't have them written on the bowl bands. But this beautiful sort of powdery pink, I got this to do another beret, but I'm thinking that would make a really nice cardigan. I don't know if it's too washed out of shade for me or not, but we shall see. That goes rather nice with that dress over there. We shall see, but I do love it, the thought for, you know, a topper on my head. So I think that's everything covered. I mean, lots of ideas and plans. Busy. So I hope you're having a lovely time, whatever you're doing and sewing and knitting and making. Please share and let me know. Can't believe I've got to over 900 followers now. I mean, I'm just so chuffed that people want to watch and they enjoy, and how supportive you all are. It's just so lovely. Really touches me in a good way. What I was going to say, I haven't replied to the comments. I've just been like missing in action, so I really must reply to all your lovely comments as well. Note to self to be more on it in future. I'm going to finish up by showing you what I'm wearing, which is the wearing history trousers, you know, home front overalls into trousers, so you can have a full length view, and then I shall pop off. So I'm going to say my goodbyes now and pop a photo or, you know, a little video of me what I'm wearing at the end. Until next time, please subscribe, please comment, please like, all of those things. Sounds like I'm putting demands out there, but it's kind of what you see everyone's doing. It's what I'm doing. So thanks very much, and ta-ta for now.